Today we'll be unboxing two former brothers in arms, now brothers at war. Here on... Welcome back to the channel, I'm your host Newman, and today we'll be unboxing the Optimus Prime and Megatron model kits from Yolopark Toys. Both model kits are from the AMK Pro Series. Measuring 20 centimeters in length, that's 7.87 inches, these non-transformable toys have roughly 35 points of articulation. Modeled after the original 1984 G1 designs, these action figures come unassembled and are a mix of die-cast metal and various high-quality plastics. Both figures possess light-up features, batteries not included. Alright folks, I'm really excited to get these model kits put together. It'll be my first model kit on this channel, and my first unboxing and review from Yolopark Toys. I purchased both kits from Amazon, and they came in separate boxes. So we'll be doing two boxes in one video. Now, unfortunately, this Optimus Prime box came in pretty raggedy. I'm actually going to do a close-up of it so you can take a look at the front first. Here we've got a nice image of G1 Optimus Prime in all his glory. And to the side we have the Transformers logo in that same G1 theme. Turning to the back, we actually have an image of the figure itself, the accessories, and a blueprint of the figure in its disassembled state. The last side of the box has Optimus Prime on it with the Autobot logo, and the top of the box has the 40th anniversary Transformers logo on it. And hey, if you grew up with the Transformers, you're probably in that 40-year range too. So let's not waste any more time, let's go ahead and put this figure together. Now, normally I would be talking over this entire video, but I think we're going to do things a little differently today. We're going to mellow out, take things easy, and just enjoy the assembly. I'll pop in from time to time to explain a thing or two, but for the most part, you'll be rid of my bad dad jokes. Here's where you can insert the battery for the light-up eyes. I had to purchase mine from Amazon. Now these pieces were not on the instructions, and I had no idea where they went. And I was so close. I was so close. I had the right idea. I just had to move it up just a little bit. So those extra pieces go underneath the windows of his torso. It only took me 20 minutes of staring at the picture of the figure on the package. Now, as far as articulation, the head goes all the way around. Arms go up head high. There is a bicep cut. The arms are double jointed at the elbows. There is a waist twist and crunch, which is very good. The legs can do the splits. There are double jointed knees, which are very good. Pulling those legs down again, there is articulation in the toes, so to speak. Both are nice and tight. In fact, all the joints are nice and tight. There is a upper thigh cut for both of the legs, which is very good. So once assembled, there is very good articulation everywhere. In fact, there's even articulation in the hands and the finger joints, which is pretty impressive for a figure of this scale. Let's go ahead and test him out with his big old gun. I love this gun. It's so classic and reminiscent of G1. Now, one of the big benefits of having articulated hands, and you know, they only kind of work for robots or your really oversized figures like Galactus or the Giant Man, but I digress. The benefit is that you only need one set of hands because they can grip pretty much anything in both hands, or they can be relaxed if you need them to be. FYI, the paintwork on this gun is very impressive. It's not just a solid black, but there are metal scuff marks on it as well, which makes it a little bit more realistic. The gun will also act as the activation device for the light-up feature in the eyes, but we'll actually go over the light-up features towards the end of this video for both him and Megatron. Let's go ahead and test miniature Megatron in his hand. And look, another added benefit of these hands is that you can get the finger in the trigger section of the gun very easily. And it just grips right around it. Now, initially when I started messing with this, I didn't realize that the hands were articulated. Well, actually, let me stop myself. I did know that the hands were articulated, but I didn't realize that every single joint in the fingers were articulated. We'll see more of that in just a little bit. First, let's go ahead and test out the axe. There we go. Looks very good from that battle from the first season of Transformers. Looks very good. And the balance is very good on this figure as well. So let's go ahead and take this off. And now before we put this hand back in, again, let me show you the articulation in the fingers. Again, I just thought it was just sort of a clapping hand, but if you look closely, yep, see, there you go. You can move those fingers so that you can get a better grip on his gun. So there we are. So now the thumb is a little bit loose, but the four fingers are very tight. All right, and see, there you go. Look how tight that is. Quite amazing, actually. So let's get that back into his forearm, and look at that. Very cool. The paint on this figure is excellent. There's no slop. It's got little scuff marks just like the gun. It's wonderful. I love the juxtaposition of the G1 character design with the more modern paint application sensibilities. This is an A+ figure. Alright, so that Optimus Prime was fantastic, was it not? Let's go ahead and unbox his nemesis, Megatron. So again, this box also came in pretty raggedy from Amazon. Luckily, I had no plans to keep this in box. This was always going to be unboxed. So for me, this was no harm, no foul. I honestly don't recommend Amazon for anything that you're going to keep in box. They're great if you need something tomorrow, but not really good if you want to keep something, well, intact and collector-friendly. Now before we go ahead and rip this open, let's take a look at the front first. Much like the Optimus Prime box, it has G1 Megatron on the front. Turning it to the side, we have the Transformer logo in Megatron's color scheme. Now turning it to the back, we have a picture of the figure itself, accessories, as well as a blueprint in its disassembled form. On the other side, we have the Megatron name with a Autobot symbol for some reason. And on the top, we have the 40th anniversary logo for Transformers. Alright, so let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and open up this raggedy box. Much like the Optimus Prime assembly, I'm going to go ahead and keep talking to a relative minimum. To insert the battery for the light-up feature, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. Again, batteries are not included, so you'll have to purchase your own. Now, there was actually supposed to be a laughing face that came with this figure, but it looks like they just gave me an extra one of his regular face, which is a shame. So there you have it, our Megatron fully assembled. Looking good. Very G1, very well balanced, very well painted. Again, I do enjoy the scuff marks all throughout the figure. So let's go ahead and see how this articulation works out. Let's start off with the head. So it goes all the way around, up and down. There's a nice tilt to it. There is a ab flex and crunch. You can go to the sides. Legs can do the splits. There is double jointed knees, which are very good. You Yep, there we go, double jointed there. There is articulation in the feet. You get a lot better range of movement than the Optimus Prime figure. There is toe articulation as well. That's nice. Arms go up to about there. Very good. And we've got double jointed elbows, which are very nice. Overall, there is great articulation. It's nice and tight. No issues, nothing too loose. It's pretty good. Let's move on to the accessories. Here we've got his laser sword. Very popular in the 80s for some reason. Looks pretty cool. It's a transparent plastic for both the blade and the handle. Looks very nice. Very cool. Most notably seen in Transformers the movie. And next up we have his laser mace. Also very cool. The chains are articulated so you can get a variety of poses out of it. Very nice. And it's not loose at all, which is a great plus. I'm surprised something so thin can have such tight articulation. Next up, let's go ahead and try this hand blaster. Alright, then, there we go. Alright, looks good. A gun with a gun. And lastly, we've got the key to Vector Sigma, which is entirely metal. It's quite heavy, actually. It's heavier than a real key. This figure also comes with a replaceable chest, one that is damaged. Now, just an FYI, the original chest is die-cast, but this replaceable chest is plastic. No worries, I don't plan on using that damaged chest anyway. Also of note is that underneath the chest plate there is actual sculpt work, electronics and gears and such, which is very nice. All in all, this is a fantastic looking figure. The sculpt and paint is absolutely A+, as is the articulation, and it's just really fun to put this thing together. Again, here's a look at the separate face sculpts. I'm not going to put them on. The one on the left is sort of a more detailed version of Megatron, and the one on the right is actually a mistake. It should have been a laughing face, which is a shame. If the same thing happens to you, you are able to contact Yolopark. I'm not going to because I don't plan on using it. Now before we wrap up, I did want to go over the light-up features for these two action figures. So here we've got the Optimus Prime, and now the light-up feature is going to be magnetic. After you insert the battery, you're actually going to use the tail end of his gun to just sort of tap his head right there, and there we go. And that turns the eyes on. Now if you tap it again, nope, let's try that one more time, there we go. If you tap it again, it'll be blinking lights. And if you tap it one more time, it'll be slow blinking lights. Just give it 1 second and you'll see it fade out. There we go. And it comes back on. And then tap it one more time to turn it off. Yep, easy peasy. Now for Megatron, his magnetic feature is actually going to be the scope on his back. So as you can see, the magnet is right there. It's not hidden anywhere. And you just put that right there. And there we go. We've got the eyes on in red. Do it one more time. So now we've got the fast blinking lights. And then finally, we're going to do the slow blinking lights. So as you can see, once you get those batteries inserted, which again, you will have to buy yourself. I had to get mine from Amazon. Then the lighting feature is going to work very well. Lastly, his gun also lights up. Now, these weren't actually on the instructions. I actually just figured it out. I honestly can't remember how I figured it out. I think I just saw a picture of it lit up, and I just saw the battery point. And, you know, I just figured it out from there. So now that all is said and done and everything's put together, what do I think of these Yolopark figures? Well, I think they are fantastic. They are excellent. These are the perfect G1 representations of Optimus Prime and Megatron I've ever seen. They look fantastic. Yes, they don't transform, but really, if you're an adult collector, you're probably not going to be doing a whole bunch of transforming. The sculpt for both of these figures is excellent. The articulation is very good. I would say the articulation is a little bit tighter on Megatron. You can get a few more poses on him, and he balances a little bit better than Optimus Prime. Not that Optimus Prime is bad, but Megatron is just a little bit better. The paint application is very, very good. Not only do the colors pop, they are very rich, very metallic looking, and the added scuff marks and discoloration gives it a very nice, realistic feel. I really do enjoy that juxtaposition of the very naturalistic with the cartoon body and proportions. The light-up feature is excellent for both figures. The use of magnets is a very clever idea and helps ixnay the use of any sort of obtrusive and unsightly switches. Also, I really love the use of die-cast metal in this. It's not everywhere. Most of it is a hard plastic, but the sparing use of die-cast here and there really helps A+ the figure. And in all honesty, this Optimus Prime is really given the 3.0 DLX Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast that I also have, and also did a review on, which you can view if you just click the link right above, right now. A big run for its money. Seriously. I mean, that I love that 3.0 Optimus Prime, but there's just something really nostalgic about this one. I mean, you know, it looks exactly like G1 Optimus Prime. And although neither one transform, this figure does have the added bonus, well, the added fun bonus, really, of being able to put this together since this is a model kit. So there's that enjoyment, even though, you know, you don't get to actually transform the figure. But really, the big selling point of this figure is the price. So again, these are 1/12 scale figures, but they are very reasonably priced. I got both of mine for $60 each. That's a really good price for such a premium figure. Like, it's shockingly low. I 100% recommend both of these figures. They're A+. Great job, Yolopark. It makes me very excited for the Starscream that you have coming out. I've already got it pre-ordered. I cannot wait for it, and hopefully many, many more.